This is something I put together myself. I call it Grmm Tv Labz. Sort of like MTV, except for the total opposite. I'm not gonna show y'all my house. You can forget about that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take y'all a little tour, run a lab, maybe give y'all a little interview, tell you a couple things about, you know what I'm saying, equipment. Maybe some of you new babies can learn something from it. Maybe all the people who's got their home studio, but you know what I'm saying, they're trying to tighten everything up. So you can cosign if you want, or pay attention. Now granted, I'm not saying I'm the best at what's going on right here. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying? But I've learned a lot of things through experience, and tell you a little bit of what I know. So pay attention. Right. First things first, what I want to say, you have to be willing to learn this stuff. You have to be willing to want to learn this stuff, okay? Machines ain't gonna magically do anything for you, okay? You always do your research. It's just like anything else. You always do your research, okay? What you can't find up here, or what you can't get the proper grasp on, you'll never be afraid to pick up a book or a magazine. See right here, this is what I got right here. Electronic musician, recording magazine. Got a few electronic musicians. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to read the whole magazine, but there's always at least one tip that is vital to what you're doing. There's always one tip. So even if one day you feel the need that, you know what I'm saying, you want to dig deeper into this, or you want to learn, period, it'll never hurt to get a magazine, because like I said, there's always one thing in there. That one thing could be the thing that opens your eyes to everything that you're doing. Don't never be afraid to pick up a book. RTFM. That's what everything. You can find books on audio recording, mixing. You can find books on home recording, and I mean these is actual books. I don't have none of my books right now because I don't loan them all out, but you can go to any Sam Ash, Guitar Center, any place that's in your city that sells equipment. Most places sell books and magazines, shit like that too. So more than likely they got books. Alright, now I'm about to take y'all through my lab, show you a little bit of what I got. You see right here, I got the Gemini turntable. I got that running into the MPC. I got the MPC MIDI to the Phantom. I got both of them running into the analog mixer. This is a Tapco Mix 260 12-channel mixer made by Mac. It's got effects, 2 buses. I like it. I wanted to get an analog. Feel for as far as recording. So I went got the analog joint. I mean, for years I've been working with the digital mixer on the window, but I could never feel the EQs as far as the graphic EQs, you know what I'm saying? So actually fucking with this analog mixer, I've actually learned a lot about EQing or whatever. I got the Behringer speakers. Honestly, the speakers really ain't shit. They really ain't. But, you know what I'm saying, I got them for a present. I got them for free, so they work. But if your speakers ain't that good, you want to have some of these, some good headphones. These are some Sennheiser 280 Pros. They cost $90. You gotta have some good headphones if your speakers ain't shitty. Because the truth is, if you ain't spending a ridiculous amount of money on a pair of monitors, then you're not going to get what you always want out of a pair of monitors. You know what I'm saying? So you got to use something else to compromise for that. Like even using these headphones, I find I get a better mix using these headphones than the speakers. But that's just the speakers. So headphones make a big difference. You don't have to mix all on your headphones. You want to use them both. That's what you want to do, so they can compromise for what the other one doesn't have. Straight up. I'm just gonna show you what I do. I got the analog mixer, I got the MP and the Phantom. Like I said before, running to the analog mixer. I got them running as a stereo track right now. Both of them has its own stereo track. This mixer's 12 channels, 4 mono. The other 8 are stereo tracks, which is left and right. Stereo is left and right. Mono is left or right. Depending on the sound, you get different results. But the stereo line is always left and right. So, me personally, I think it sounds better. I think it sounds better than the mono track. Even as far as tracking your stuff out, just stereo tracks versus just mono tracks. And when I say tracking stuff out, what I mean is giving every sound to a beat its own track, its own channel to perform. So you can give it EQs and shit like that. So EQs is pretty much the same thing that's on a stereo. Your highs, your lows, and your mids. The mixer, the analog mixer right here, it's got highs, mids, mid-lows, and lows. So that's a 4-band EQ. 3-band EQ is highs, mids, and lows. In the window, I track all my stuff out. I solo every sound. Snare drums gets its own track. The hi-hat gets its own track. The kick, everything gets its own track. So that way everything got its own space to perform. And you're going to mix the stuff down to level it out. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you don't have stuff that's louder than the other one. But I solo all my sounds out from my MP and my keyboard. It goes through the stereo channel and the mixer. And I usually do a little pre-EQ through it to get the sound right using my headphones and my speakers. And once you get in here, you can mix it some more. Now you don't want to over mix it because it's already been mixed. You know, so some things you might not have to do anything to, you know. But it's an analog mixer and a digital mixer. You know what I'm saying? I think it's high. I got this running through the sound card as a stereo track, I got it. So I got the main out to this running into the stereo inputs, the sound card that comes in as a stereo track, which is left and right. That's what's up. I got a dynamic mic, Sennheiser E835. It's a dynamic, it's a hot mic. A lot of people sleep on these mics because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a condenser right now. I had a condenser, but that's another story. When I had a condenser, I had this over here, which as you see, is the SpongeBob, boo. I got the pad back here. A little bit of pad so I can get some insulation in my vocals. You know what I'm saying? But with these type of mics, you don't really need that much. You don't really need that much room treatment. You know what I'm saying? That's something I done learned just messing around with it. It's new. I just got it. But don't sleep on the dynamic mics. The dynamic mics can get busy as long as you get the right one. Sennheiser's dope. The Shores, them SM58s and 57s, them is dope. Dynamic mics is dope. You're better off buying a dynamic mic for $100 than buying a cheap condenser mic. Because you're going to get them cheap condenser mics sooner or later, you're going to get rid of them. You're going to get sick of it. It's going to start to sound horrible. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I mean, if you learn more about your mixing and shit like that, then you'll learn what the mics were. But don't sleep on the dynamics.
to survival. My spit game finish all my rivals. Spit flame diminish all they idols. Dragon slaying niggas getting blown out the cave. For they on and they title. You a fraud with a Bible.